court that has been captured can do whatever it wants to do, and that's why there's no respect for it. And that's why you have governors, coming out to thank Tinubu when the judgment goes their way. So the fact that we have a captured judiciary and whatever, Aisha Yusufu, and I say it without mincing word, I don't put
conducted a fraudulent and bad election, which is not up to now consistent with the Nigerian constitution, the declaration itself. And I stated it. They have finished us. They have declared a government that is in place and providing the kind of governance they can provide. So I have no business with INEC besides the statement of fact.
All right, many Nigerians have continued to react that 2027 is by the corner. What would be the fate of Nigerians with Mahmoud, the INEC chairman? Well, this has actually been a serious issue. People have been calling for a reform of the INEC electoral processes just so that we can ascertain a free and fair election. Recall that the by-election just came by 2 weeks ago, and we can saw the malpractices, and we can saw buying of votes and a lot of incidents that has occurred in that place in the by-election. A lot of persons have attributed the by-election as not free and fair, not even to be called by-election, but by-election, which is B-U-Y. Election that has been bought over by the sitting governors and politicians. Well, people have continued to clamor that the 2027 is here, and people are pushing narratives that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should do a reform of the INEC just so that democracy can sail. I'd like you to take a time and watch this interview. But then, Aisha has made some valid points that people have continued to react on. So I'd like us to digest it and share your opinion respectively on the comment sections. I'll be right back.
You voted and you work for Peter Obi, and you are one of those who won against Bola Tinubu. But now you're one of those who are saying, oh yeah, you got what you deserve. Those who voted. But either you voted or you did not vote. We have a president, isn't it?
No, we don't.
We do have a president.
No, you have a president. I don't have a president.
What do you mean? You are a citizen of Nigeria and you reside here.
Nigeria, I reside here. Then we have an illegitimate president, someone who rigged his way into office. It's like if there's a military coup, are you going to sit down and accept that, you have a president because someone, there was a military coup?
But
this is a political
you
coup.
You cannot say that because you do not have evidence.
Aisha Yusufu can and have said that Nigeria does not have a president. What we have is someone who rigged his way into office, who is illegitimately occupying
the court
his
does
office.
not agree with your position.
The court that has been captured can do whatever it wants to do, and that's why there's no respect for it. And that's why you have governors, coming out to thank Tinubu when the judgment goes their way. So the fact that we have a captured judiciary and whatever, Aisha Yusufu, and I say it without mincing word, I don't put water for my mouth. There's no precedent in Nigeria.
There's a precedent for Bola Tinubu, factually.
The former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, is illegitimately occupying an office he shouldn't. And I've said it. You have your opinion, I have my own. So why does he have to?
No, there's a fact. There's a fact. There's an opinion.
No, then go ahead with your own fact. This is mine. This is my reality, and I'm telling you, Nigeria doesn't have.
Why is it difficult for you to accept that?
Why should I accept
in the next 4 years?
It's no, hold on, Shehu. Someone comes to my house, steals my car, take it away, repaints it, and you're telling me that I have to accept it because it's been repainted and you have gotten papers for it.
You cannot prove that.
The proven or not the proven, that's not the point. This is what I'm saying to you, Shehu. This is Aisha telling you that Nigeria does not have a president. If you, Shehu, believes that Nigeria has a president, go ahead. Who is stopping you? I'm a person of conviction. I'm not interested in who wins or who doesn't win. I'm going to go with the candidate that I feel is the best. In 2019, I was the only person who voted for my candidate, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, in my polling unit. And I stayed to 2 a.m. to defend that unit. And the following morning, I think around 10, or is it 10 or 12, I went down to the collation center to ensure that my vote was counted in. I'm a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And when I put my finger up, they no born INEC for them to change that particular, whatever it is. They no born any talk or whatever it is to change it. And I've done my bit. And that particular one vote was counted. And I left that place with my head held high. It's not about, my candidate has to win. Or if my candidate doesn't, your own one. No, it's about what is that candidate going to give to Nigeria? And I tell you something. For me, I have said this repeatedly, and I'm going to repeat it here to further. The 2023 election, if it's not about the outcome, it's about the process. If the process was free, fair, and credible. There was nothing to do with IREV and whatever. And the result came out the way the result is today. Then everybody has to accept it. Whoever is voted in, if Nigeria decide to vote a goat as president, we always call that person the president. But when someone isn't voted for and the people rig their way in there, we must get to a place whereby political coup is taking the same way as military coup. We cannot have people come in, subvert the system. The result must not justify the means. No, it doesn't, because that's what we just had in Edo State.
So if you say the election in 2023 was rigged, so the candidates you worked for, were those votes also rigged in his favor?
No, it wasn't.
So,
and I will tell you how it goes.
So the vote for Peter Obi was legitimate, but the ones in the same breath for the other candidate, Atiku and Tinubu, were rigged. Is that your position?
So let me tell you, there were some rigging. Let me correct that. In Lagos, the margin with which he won was way more than what he was given. In Jos, in Plateau State, the same thing. We have Benue. You know what they call process? One of the things that Nigerians don't understand is this thing about people standing and following the due process. And that's exactly what I did. Before we get there, let me go back to what I was saying to you, Sheun. On the issue of the fact that there was no transparency, IREF on the day of election, let's not forget February 25th, all of a sudden it didn't work. There were 3 elections on a particular day, and it didn't work for one of them, which was the presidency. Every result would be put in for the same place, the same time, everything for House of Representatives, for Senate, and all of that. And then you came to presidency, it wasn't working. You've seen what Rivers State have continuously said right now, where with the accusations going on, with the fight between Wike and Fubara going on, the people who helped in rigging that election coming out to say, this is what they do. Haven't you seen any of those videos? They've come out to say, this is how they rigged the election. For me, the issue is not whether who becomes the president, right? If Nigerians had actually voted for the former governor of Lagos, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he got there, well, you say that's what the people's choice is all about, and that's the beauty of democracy. People do whatever it is that their choice is their choice, and their vote to do that. But that wasn't what they did. There was a rigging, and we have a situation here that should worry every one of us. The fact that the burden of proof is not on INEC, that is conducting. And you have seen people who have taken us back. Our democracy has gone back to pre-Yaradua days with all the things. Having said that, coming back to the campaign funds.
Just for a moment before you go there. Okay. So are you suggesting that we should amend our laws such that the burden of proof will now be on INEC?
Absolutely. You conduct an election. You were given the monies to do it. How come you're not the one? And you said the election you conducted was free, fair, and credible. Why is the burden of proof on the person who is saying that it isn't? You should come and show Nigerians, INEC should come and show Nigerians at every particular time that the money that was invested in them, everything that was given to them, and the constitutional duty, responsibility given to them to conduct a free, fair, and credible election, that they have done it. We have situations right now where even when INEC is called upon to bring materials, they don't bring it and they get away with it.
When I watched this clip, 2 things came to my mind. Number one, it reminds me why APC and Tinubu are after Peter Obi morning, afternoon, night. Because Peter Obi and his supporters have always told them that they didn't win election. And this has not happened in the recent history of Nigeria. Before, after election, everybody will just go and it will be forgotten. Now, even though this video was about 10 months ago, but every now and then, 1 or 2 or 3 of P2B supporters will get on air and they will remind them that they didn't win the election and they don't like it. So now this is one of the major reasons you see them always attacking Mr. Peter Obi and his supporters, because they thought that just after the Supreme Court announces, the whole thing will be forgotten. But it didn't work the way they planned it, and it's not working the way they planned it. Aisha Yusufu is a known person globally. Aisha is a voice. Aisha is known as an activist. So for Aisha to keep saying that a sitting president of Nigeria is illegitimate, now that is huge. That is serious. So, and that is one of the reasons why you see them going after Mr. Peter Obi. The second thing I also saw here is the issue of the burden of proof of a truth. INEC should be the one to prove how they conducted free and fair election. But it will shock you to know that INEC has not provided to us how Tinubu won the election. They have not shown us from EC8 how did they arrive at the numbers. In fact, I listened to Dele Farotimi, who represented Peter Obi at the lawyer sent him to Lagos State INEC office to collect from EC8 for the election, and he said they didn't give him because they know that those forms will not tally with the number that they put in. He said they didn't give him. So up to today, INEC hasn't told us how Tinubu won. So it should be INEC should be the one to show us how they conducted the election. The burden of proof honestly should be on INEC. They should be the ones to come out and show Nigerians how they got the numbers. And honestly, I agree with Aisha on that one.